crash on turn 3. All right, what is up, my friends? Welcome to the Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com. I got a crazy one for you today, and I've been watching Doomwake all week. Of course, great content creator, and Doomwake's been playing variations of this deck all week on stream, and I just had to play it. I'm sorry, this deck is absolutely wild. Mrs. Force is a modern deck, and this is basically just a modern deck that's doing a few different things at once. So, of course, Crashing Footfalls, popular part of the modern format right now. 0 mana sorcery, spend 4, pay green, and then make 2 4/4s. Obviously, we're not really intending to suspend this, although we can. Obviously, we can do it. The goal here is to cascade into Crashing Footfalls using cards like Violent Outburst or Shardless Agent, where effectively any cascade in this deck is going to be make 2 4/4s because every card in the deck has a mana value of 3 or more. Now, a lot of new cards recently have made this very, very doable. Normally, this would be a huge downside because you can't play much cheap interaction in a format like Modern, which is very interactive. But there's just like a bajillion ways to get around that now. So, of course, Bonecrusher Giant and Brazen Borrower, excellent at this because the card's 3 CMC. We can cast it for 2 as Stomp or as Petty Theft. Fire Ice, new addition from Modern Horizons 2. Awesome card. Same idea. Mana value of this card is 4, so we can still cast a 2 mana removal spell or tap some land, stuff like that. And the Pitch Elementals, which have really been the quiet MVP of Modern Horizons 2, and all of them just seem absolutely absurd. And 4 Solitude and 4 Fury, which allows interact as early as turn 0. I guess turn 1 with Fury. But how are we gonna push all of this to work? Well, this is a huge version of a deck. It is a Yorion deck, so it has 80 cards. And why not just throw in Omnath and Teferi into the mix anyway? So Omnath, of course, sees play in the Elementals deck, and it's really cool because it can pitch to any of the Elementals. That's obviously very cool. Also, a very good card in general. Teferi Time Raveler, obviously insanely good card. Very good at mirrors as well against control decks and stuff like that. And kind of an oddball here in Temur Ascendancy. Green, blue, red enchantment. Creatures you control have haste. Whenever a creature with power 4 or greater in the battlefield under your control, you may draw cards. So whenever you cast the Footfalls, they have haste and you draw 2 cards, which is pretty insane. So also can pitch to Fury or Force of Negation or Endurance or Force of Vigor out of a sideboard, which is super cool. And of course, Ardent Plea ends up being your 3rd Cascade card. Again, just blue and white, so it pitches a Solitude, Force of Negation. So really abusing both the pitch mechanic in Fury, Solitude, Force of Negation, and then just abusing modern day Magic cards. Almost every single card in this entire deck was printed in the last like 3 years. We have Eldraine cards, Modern Horizons 1 cards, Modern Horizons 2 cards. The only cards that are actually printed before, a couple of years ago are the Cascade cards and the Fetch lands, which is kind of ridiculous, honestly. Sideboard, same thing. 4 Force of Vigor, 4 Endurance, and 4 Mystical Dispute. I guess Nahiri also fits that build too as a little additional threat. So deck's super cool. I'm super excited to try it. It's kind of all the things in Modern in one. And we're going to see how it works. Crazy mana base too, of course. So let's jump right into the games. The first week, we're from our sponsor at CoolStuffInc.com.
Cool Stuff Inc. is proud to sponsor Jim Davis. We offer great deals on card games, tabletop RPGs, board games, and more. Get a free token featuring Jim Davis and take 5% off your next order if you use the code JIM5 at checkout. CoolStuffInc.com. Cool stuff in stock.
All right, round 1, winning die rolls, choosing our companion, just the usual early game here in the Modern format. Yorion can hang out over here. And look at our first opening hand here, and we get our fetch line, so we're good to go. 1 fetch line, 1 Triome, easy game. We have 2 interactive spells and 2 Cascade cards. Couldn't really ask for more. Pretty good hand. One mulligans to 5, quickly. 2 quick mulligans to 5 here. Do love me some Fire Ice. I do love this card. Just a great addition to the Modern format. Super fun card. What's up, say go? Get a Temur Triome. Godless Shrine tapped. Oh boy, we are cranking at this game. It's this one, right? It is that one. So small. And I might just ice them. We're gonna upkeep Rashad and port them. Give him a little icy action. Bonecrusher. Man, look at all these cheap spells we got. Just fire up the old ice. Tap that. Draw Footfalls, sure. They play Delta, and just make it happen, I guess. We just do Shardless Agent, great. Oh, actually can't cast Shardless Agent, so yeah, we could say go. Mana, a little awkward. It's okay though, it's okay. We have a Violent Outburst. Watery Grave. I would assume this is probably going to be Esper Reanimator, which our Brazen Borrower will be pretty good against. Faithful Mending, looks like it. Looks like it. Discarding Unmarked Grave and Muldrifter. So no Archon of Cruelty, which is the important one. And we get to pop off here with an end step, Violent Outburst, Cascade. Oh, we hit a Crashing Footfalls. That's just so lucky, you know? Fire up Footfalls, fire up Outburst, untap and draw Misty Rainforest. You know, I don't think they have any Wraths in their deck, so we're just gonna run out the old Shardless Agent here. We'll just get a basic, right? Just get a Forest. Yeah, Island, I guess. We have 2 blue, sure. Blue, red, green, Agent. And there you go. That's that's 18 power on turn 4. And again, this deck feels just so broken because normally you'd have to take a hit somewhere to be able to do what we're doing right now. You know, just cascade to the 4/4 every turn, or your deck is slower, you're playing Living End, you're playing all cycling cards, but with all the pitch spells and all the 2-mana interactive spells, like, we're just doing the thing, you know, we're just doing the thing. So they are playing a Esper Reanimator deck. So we're going to want to bring in our Endurances. Post-board, we got to watch out for things like Chalice the Void, Void Mirror, various things that don't allow us to cascade. Of course, Borrower can answer that. We're cut our Bonecrusher Giants. Those are pretty bad. Honestly, our Furies seem pretty bad too. Cut those too. Bring in our Mystical Disputes. Am I interested in Force of Vigor? I don't think so. I'm actually interested in Nahiri too. Because Nahiri can also deal with... it's an alternate way to win and can possibly deal with some of the hate cards. Ascendancy, Outburst, Teferi is great, Force is great, Borrower's great, Omnath's great, Solitude's great. Fire, Ice is cool. We can also like Ice and an artifact, and then exile it in here, which is kind of cool. Is Temur Ascendancy necessary? We're not really like grinding against them, so I'll say no. So let's cut these. Gotta cut one more card. I kind of want to cut an Omnath. Kind of land him a draw maybe too. But they're also a Thoughtseize deck, so cutting a landing with a Thoughtseize deck is usually pretty reasonable because they're just gonna have discard spells. We want to not flood, so I'm gonna Grove on the draw. It's fine. Ugly Grove here. So let's try this. Let's try this. I'm not sure about cutting Temur Ascendancy, but it's kind of like a cute card. Like not really sure if it's good. I know Doomwake was like on and off them, but it just seemed really cool and I want to try it. Choose Yorion. Another cool thing about Yorion in this deck is that we get to pitch it to a Solitude or Force of Negation, which is kind of cool. I'm going to keep 7. We're going to keep this hand. We can suspend a Footfalls on turn 1 with a Force of Negation, which is great. So, you draw land. There it is. So cool. They probably have Teferi in their deck, which is obviously very annoying for us because Teferi can stop our Cascades, but we can worry about that when it comes to it. And we have Force of Negation here to defend ourselves. I feel like Force is very good in these decks. Also, it's cool because you can Violent Outburst on their turn and use Force to defend it, which is cool. Usually you can't use Force to defend your combo. They're going to shock, untapped, and say go. We are going to Footfalls. Draw Sulfur Falls, and just play Misty and say go. We have Force up if we want it. We have a Cascade next turn. We can get a Triome. We can get a basic too, honestly, if we need to, because we have all of our colors. End step, Faithful Mending, sure, no problems there. Gain 2, draw 2, discard 2. Discarding Unmarked Grave and Solitude. So once again, they missed on their Archon of Cruelty, which is good for us. I imagine we're going to see a Teferi here. We're going to be very happy to Force of Negation it, pitching probably Ardent Plea, I would think. Yep, so do that, ship that, crack this. Get ourselves a Triome of the white variety. Actually, I want double green actually for the to cast hard cast endurance. So sure, double green. All right, and untap. Footfalls goes to 2. An outburst as well. So now we're cranking on these things. Cool. Agent, do your thing. Oh, there it is. It's hiding in my thing over here. Sure. 10 power and play on turn 3. Pretty powerful. Pretty powerful. They have 5 cards now. Explosives on 0. Sure. So that's fine. They're trading 2 mana for half, or like the important part of my agent. I still have the agent in play. They're also going to unmark grave too. Okay. Do they have the persist as well? Search for a non-legendary, get Archon of Cruelty. And it looks like they don't. So we're going to untap. Suspend goes to 1. Draw. Misty Rainforest. So we're going to jam here. Now we're going to jam and we're going to cast Omnath. Get Omnath rolling. We have fetch land in our hand. We have Yorion ready to go too. Are they gonna? They're not gonna explosives the YoRhinos. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Perhaps they have a mending and they're just desperate to find the answer to Archon. So we're gonna shock this in. On heat the fetch line for Omnath. White, blue, green. Oops. Red, green. Omnath, draw a card. Dispute. We're also insulated against the Archon of Cruelty sacrifice. They go end step, pop this, and Archon has to sacrifice the agent. Make some rhinos. There's some nothing. They didn't even pop it. So they're trying to get the full Monty here of the footfalls as well. So it looks like no, they're gonna pop it now. Okay. So kind of interesting they didn't use the mana or the explosives. And do they have the persist? They do. They do. So they persist. We sacrifice the agent. And we're going to discard the dispute. And they were past the point of dispute mattering. So they play land. Ooh. Ouchie wowie. All right. Yeah, that's probably going to be the game. Ephemerate the Archon of Cruelty. That's probably going to do it. We'll see. We'll see. Discard the Rainforest. We're going to have 4 rhinos. I don't know if it'll be enough, though, in the Archon attacks. They do it again next turn. So cast this. 3 Archon triggers might just be too many. If we drew Solitude there, it would have worked because we could have put the Yorion in our hand and pitched it and killed the Archon. We did not, unfortunately. And we're literally dead to their next attack. Yeah, we're just dead. So we also lose 3. All right. Pretty powerful hand. Pretty powerful hand. They got us. And not enough interaction. So game 3. Game 3. Yeah, no changes. Pretty happy. I'm gonna leave the land out. I think it's fine. I'm a little greedy, but so again, we had the force for the Teferi, but unfortunately couldn't pull the rest of it off. Obviously had answers to Archon, I couldn't find them. Borrower would have been great too. Borrower, Endurance, Teferi. Nihiri. Actually, Nihiri wouldn't have done X wasn't tapped, but Solitude. So on the play. And we have land, Footfalls. We do have Solitude. This is a 2-lander, though. We really need that 3rd land. And then also it's kind of awkward because I don't really want to. I guess I could just get Stomping Ground and suspend Footfalls on 1. I'm going to keep. I just need to literally draw any land. I can't get Stomping Ground. Obviously, it's a freaking Flooded Strand. So the issue is what I fetch here is limiting. I either get a green or a red. I have an outburst, obviously. I could just say go, get a Triome, and just suspend this on turn 2. It's much, much worse, though. Might just be what we do, though, honestly. Otherwise, I'm getting Temple Garden or getting a Breeding Pool, and then I'm just not casting this unless I draw a land that can cast it. I'm just gonna go. Crack the Delta. You can see our first thought's easier. Looks like it. No, we're gonna see a Grief Ephemerate. All right. Well, we have Solitude. So all incarnations all the time. Oh, it doesn't even work actually because they Cake and Thoughtseize me first. Ugh. It's disgusting. Alright, I guess. Kind of annoying because like the design of these looked good because they all look very reactive. But they're turning out to be just like the literal cornerstone of the entire format, like almost every single one of them. Won't lie and say that I love it because I don't. I'm definitely of the opinion that the Modern Horizon sets change the format way too much, as evidenced by our deck, which is all Modern Horizon cards. But I'm just gonna crack this now. All right, pretty disgusting. Probably the best Grief Ephemerate deck. I don't think it's close. We need the green one. And now we are down 3 cards once they flicker it next. I guess I could have just like, maybe I should have solituded it. I'm sorry, they would ephemerate in response. So, right, that's why I didn't do it. Force of Negation. I mean, they're just gonna cast another ephemerate next turn. Ay. All right. Sure. All right, so coming back again. Thinking Omnath. That is interesting. Perhaps they want to resolve a spell through Force of Negation here. Explosives on 0. Okay. Footfalls goes to 3. We draw Temple Garden. So that works as like we can just fire in some rhinos and then like these will come in for a while anyway. So sure, it's not bad. Also holding a Force Negation too. So they go to 16. So that's 4 hits from any rhino. You have 3 cards in hand. All right. I mean, I suppose it has menace, so you might be interested in just like trying to block and making them do something. Could have like counterspells me too, but what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? They Thoughtseize me 3 times in the first turn and a half of the game. Pop the explosive, sure. Pop the Flooded Strand. For planes. Another Ephemerate. Explosives on 0. Okay. Sure. Footfalls goes to 2. We draw Ardent Plea. Ship it, right? What are you gonna do? Just make him keep using it. Oh my god, Auto Tapper, where art thou? Ardent Plea. Cast spell. Make some rhinos. Say go. Pop the rhinos. You got it. More of that came from. Play land, sure. And now it's funny because we could put Yorion in our hand to pitch to the Force Negation. We could also just leave Force Negation up and just cast it. So you probably want to do that, honestly. So just say go here. He also was casting Yorion's not crazy either. But they go to 14. They have 2 cards left. The Rhinos will race the Grief. Land number 5 for them. Be super gangster if they just cast them all to here. No? Alright, sure. Go to 7. So untap. Must have a lot of ways to kill this too. So cast Footfalls. Feel a little sad we didn't put the Yorion in our hand last turn. Draw Brazen Borrower. Sure. And say go. 2 cards in hand. End step. Hard to cast Solitude. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. So we're going to gain 4. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Prismatic ending. They've killed so many rhinos this game. Somebody call PETA. I think we just have to counter this. I don't think we can afford to just like sit back anymore. So sure. Can't take it with us, you know? Get in for 3. Not necessarily. I can't attack. Okay. 8 to 14. We draw a plains. So I can't really bounce Solitude or Grief. I'm kind of regretting not putting the Yorion in my hand, honestly. Alright, let's just put Yorion in my hand now, and I guess we just gotta say go. It's funny, we do Exalted, so it is for 5, not for 4, which is kind of cool. Maybe I should just cast the Borrower. I guess I couldn't cast it last turn, but alright. They have 2 cards in hand. Okay. That really sucks. Because we kind of need this Yorion. Okay. Now we need to draw like Fire Ash or something, or we're just dead. I mean, I'm gonna bounce one of these Griefs because like I just might as well at this point. Because we're on a clock. Taking Yorion anyway. Gotta draw a good one here. Gotta draw a good one here. Alright. Big draw. It's a Brazen Borrower. Which is honestly not that bad. I just bounce the Grief and cast it. Oh no, we're good on blue. We're good on blue. I can't attack because I have they have a lifelinker to come back, so just say go. Perhaps I should have done this in their upkeep because they draw a counter spell, but I'm trying to draw Fire Ice, you know? Ugh. Disgusting. Who would have thought? The year 2021. Muldrifter. Playable in Modern. Not me. Not me. Alright, untap, draw, Reflecting Pool. Ugh. Alright, I mean, I guess we should offer the trade. It's not a good trade, but they've done a very, very good job of containing our rhinos. Double explosives. I guess they also have their ephemerate nut draw too with the Grief ephemerate, but just pretty good for them. Play Grief. Nothing doing. A little scared they have an Archon in their hand. They could just cast it next turn. That would be devastating. Alright, untap, draw spell, please. Alright, that is a spell technically, I suppose. Attack for 4. They still have a Grief in their hand too. It's kind of gross. The 3/2 menace and 3/2 lifelink are just getting us right now. You know, don't underestimate the stats of limited cost creatures here. Just 5 mana 3/2 lifelink and 4 mana 3/2 menace. Faithful Mending, easy counter. They have Grief in their hand anyway, so that's pretty good for us. Exiles at 2, which is nice. Probably should have cast Grief first, honestly. Can't block. Go to 2. This has got to be a good one here. I'm not sure what it can be. Yeah, probably should have cast that one first. I don't know. What's this card going to be? It's going to be a Brazen Borrower. That is not enough. That is not enough. We'll feign like it is, but it's not. Yeah, that was tough. Tough game. Ephemerate, nut draw, double explosives. I'll do it. I'll do it. 0-1. They got us. They got us. All right, round 2. Let's see if we can improve a little bit here. On the play again. Yorion, I choose you. Ugh. All right. We can cast a lot of our spells, but we're going to mulligan. Into pretty good hand. Pretty good hand. We can keep this. It's funny. We're going to keep the Ardent Plea over the Outburst because Teferi can bounce it and recast it, which is kind of cool. So we're going to keep the... we're also kind of assuming that Bonecrusher is going to be good, but they mulligan to 6. We were on the play. I want to have a play on turn 2, I think. So ship the Outburst. Even though Outburst is obviously better in a vacuum, the fact that Teferi can bounce the Ardent Plea is really cool. All right, so Lando, go. Get like one of the 2 Triomes. Like this guy, Eldrazi Temple. Expedition map. Oh my. Eldrazi Tron, my most hated deck. I love it. Bring it on. All right, so Triomes, they go. They always have it against me. They always got it. Ooh. We could Brazen Borrower their Expedition map here and just kind of put them off curve for a turn. I think I like that. Honestly, the 4/4 is really good against them. The problem is that they have 4 Chalice in their deck, which is a main deck hate card against us. But I think it's okay. I'm gonna get a Forest. We're gonna Petty Theft here. I think this puts them off curve. It's almost as good as destroying it, I feel like, because they have to like use their mana otherwise. Now it's like so awkward to like play it and use it. So double Eldrazi Temple. All right. I guess our opponents have it out for us today, my friends. I guess our opponents have it out for us. Thought-Knot Seer, sure. Take the Ardent Plea, I can only assume. Double Temple, Thought-Knot Seer after I bounce your Expedition map. Get out of here. It's interesting that they're thinking about taking something that's not Ardent Plea. Yeah, like so. Alright, so... Oh, the Thoughtseize bug strikes again. You love to see it. Oh, you just love to see it. This is going to be so good against them, too. Just 2/4/4 is just, like, really good against them. You are up, my friend. You have a good turn. One good turn deserves another. The 80-card deck, top decks. Obviously, we were drawing to 4 Shardless Agents, 4 Outbursts, and 3 Ardent Pleas there. The fact that it was Ardent Plea and not like Shardless Agent was, like, just kind of funny, but it's an 80-card deck, you know? What are the odds? What are the odds? I mean... pretty stoked to block here. Kill Thought-Knot, draw a card. We draw a Temple Garden, sure, it's cool. And they play a Blast Zone that cannot kill Rhinos, comes in on 1. And they're going to play another Thought-Knot Seer. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, 4 cards left. And there's your map, sure. It's funny because, there we go. Easy game. Attack for 5 with the Exalted. It's got words on it. It's got words, not just blue and white. And yo, I would like to play some more Rhinos, if that's okay with you. Looks like it's gotta be. And you're up. 14 power in play. All is dust or bust, probably, is where we are currently at in this game. Not sure of the exact composition of E-Tron decks currently. They occasionally play that card. Temple number 3 means they might have it. That's kind of scary, actually. We do get to put in a pretty big attack this turn. All right, Matter Shaper, go. I think we draw Fury. Interesting. I think I wanted to stomp the Reshaper and get him for a whole bunch and not let them block. It's very similar to Stomping then, because I just have a yeah, it's attack, I guess, because I have these all trample anyway. So and if they have all those, I can guess the borrower and stuff too. So I'm just gonna go. Honestly, hard casting Fury's not bad against them either. Attack. They block the Shardless on the Thoughts here. We'll stop that. Nope. Okay. Sure. So take a bunch. We draw a card. They get some Matter of Shape. I feel an All is Dust coming. Just kind of feeling it. Reality Smasher. Sure. So all is Dust or Busto. I mean, we fire him for 3, attack them or stomp them for 2. So I think we're in good shape no matter what here. Nope, just Smasher. Sure. That is not good enough. That is most certainly not good enough. Cast Brazen Borrower. Stomp ya. Where my Lucky Clover's at? Eh? Where my Lucky Clover's at? Stomp ya. GG. Alright, so be important that we can answer their Chalice of the Void. They have 4 main deck hate cards against us. Bring our 4 Force of Vigors. I like Nahiri here too, I think. And what do we not like? Honestly, Bonecrusher, it's funny because the Stomp isn't very good against them, but just casting a 4/3 is kind of good against them, which is weird. But I would say Fire Ice isn't particularly exciting. I'm also like, I just kind of want to cut the Ascendancies because I just feel like this is the card I want to cut. I don't know what else to cut. Force of Negation can deal with Chalice or Karn. Doesn't deal with everything. But I think we probably still want it. Fire Ice, only really good for the ice side, because fire doesn't really kill much anyway. Want to keep all the Cascaders, want to keep Teferi, want to keep Bonecrusher, want to keep Borrower, want to keep Omnath, Fury, Solitude. I think I want the Forces, so I think it's good for me. And I think it's just large tends to be good against them. Just like a 4/4/4, because they don't really remove things very well. If you just outsize them, it's very hard for them to win. So just playing a 4/4 or a 5/5 is usually pretty good against them. Like Fury, for example, just like blocks all of our stuff. I guess we are losing the ability to ice a Chalice and eat it with Nahiri, but that's pretty cool in our case. So not entirely sure about Force Negation, but it seems important. It does answer their most important card against us. So, ooh yeah, another 1-lander. Love it. Definitely a matchup where Suspending Footfalls is not going to be that good. It's good in like the slower like counterspell matchups, but they just have 4 Chalices in their deck, and it's kind of slow. So Mulligan into land, Cascade, Fury, Borrower, Omnath. This is passable. We can keep this. I'm going to ship the... I think it's Fury. We have Borrower to bounce Chalice, and we have a Cascade card. Omnath's a good backup plan. Fury's like not like great against them. It's like fine. But all right, turn 1 Temple, go. I'm feeling a Chalice here. I'm feeling a Chalice. Draw Footfalls. I mean, we could suspend it, but we also got like a fetch awkward land then too. Let's play this since I go. Fortunately, there is no Bant Triome, which is the Triome I'd like to find right now, but that is not an option. So I guess we're getting it's a Temur or it's double temple no play. Wow, that's incredible. Incredibly scary. So what hand would they possibly keep with no Chalice, no Thought, not 2 temples? It's like 5 reality smashers. It's just a flip here, right? How much charm to get? 1 makes white, 1 makes green. I guess our only actual green cards are Outburst and Shardless is pretty good too. And then our white cards are Teferi and Ardent Plea. I think it's white. Is it green? It's green. We have more like one or the other. It's like so close, just a flip. There's like a few more green sources, like the Stomping Ground and the life gainy land, grow the Burnwillows, but I'm just take the green. Need to draw land anyway. Hopefully it's a fetch land. Do they have Warping Whale? It's a possibility. It's definitely a possibility. You gotta think to yourself, like, why would they keep this hand? Like, this was a 7-card keep on the play with no 1 or 2 drop and double temples. They thought they could have it. So I feel like Warping Whale is a pretty serious possibility. Question here is, do I want to spend Footfalls or not? Smasher's also a possibility. And I could discard the Smasher. Now I have 3 Cascaders, though. I'm going to spend it. So go. Yeah, I'm feeling Warping Wheel. That's what I'm feeling right now. Urza's Mine. A lonely Urza land. Yeah, definitely. Oh, it's 100% Warping Wheel. No, yes. Oh, Chalice on 0. Yeah. So they have Warping Whale and Chalice on 0? That's pretty gross. Alright. Untap. Draw land here? Or nah? Can draw land. Let's play that. Say go. Warping Whale counters sorceries. Obviously, we can petty theft the Chalice of the Void, but only get a 1-turn reprieve here. Versus Saga. It's important to know the Saga cannot get Chalice of the Void because it only gets things that cost exactly 0 or exactly 1. They're going to play Karn, the Great Creator. Alrighty then. They're going to get... Man, I'd love to draw my Force of Vigors. Force of Vigor is pretty good. Ratchet Bomb. Haters. Let me tell you about these haters out here. I guess we're just going to make them use it. Maybe we just like cast Brazen Borrower here. Just attack the Karn. Yeah, just cast Brazen Borrower. Like, they have Ratchet Bomb to blow up the YoRhinos anyway. Just kill Karn. You draw land for Omnath. They're pretty cool too. Spend. Draw. Cool. Nope, not cool. No white. Wrong land. Damn it. Alright. Kill Karn. And at the moment, we're just putting this poor Yorion into our hand, saying go. We just beat them with flying creatures, you know? Our last opponent just beat us with like random 3/2s and stuff. Can do the same to them. Saga goes to 2. Thought Nuts here. Pretty good. Pretty good. Maybe we should shave down on the Cascaders against them. They have like Chalice, Warping Whale, and stuff. I feel a lot of haters out today. Not gonna lie, a lot of haters out in Force today. They're at 4. Suspend goes to 1. We draw Force of Vigor. Stomping Ground. It could be worse. As I said, they don't really deal with large creatures very well, so just put a freaking flyer here and try and kill them, you know? All right. I have 7 power in the air. You're up. Ursog to make it 2/2. Not very exciting. Not sure what the Saga can go get that really concerns me. Oh, just cast H as a 2/2. Also, I mean, Violent Outburst has text on it. It does pump the team. So... versus freaking Saga. All right, so make a construct. And now they have, about to have 8 power in play. That's so unreal. I guess they just like can't actually get through Yorion right now though, because I have a 4/5 in play. And like I said, the you know, you just play a 4/5 or a 5/5, and they can't really always attack you. They don't interact very well. Very, very curious to see what they get here. Very, very curious. I'm sure some really obvious card I'm not thinking of, but just gonna sit here and wonder. They're taking a while, so I guess it can't be that obvious, right? I want to remind you, of course, there's a companion article to this video, as there always is on CoolStuffInc.com, as there is free content every weekday on Cool Stuff Inc. And I already got Basilisk Collar. That one's pretty good. That one's pretty good. Yeah, I probably can't beat that. Fire up the old lifelink, and now their trades are good. Yeah, I think we're just dead. Also, you can deal with the Shallow's the Void. We draw Force of Vigor, obviously. I mean, I guess we're just drawing a Force of Vigor literally every turn, but... Alright, so spend, can't cast it. Well, I can't cast it, whatever, sure. I have to cast it, right? Let me draw Sacred Foundry. And we're just dead. Yeah, we like can't actually do anything. They have a Basilisk Collar. I guess I could draw Force of Vigor, so I'll keep playing, but 5/10. I think I can decline to Cascade if I want to. I mean, if we draw the Force of Vigor, we just kill the Chalice and make, you know, 4/4/4s. So that is certainly a path, I suppose. Hey, they got Tron. They didn't even map. Tab a million. Walking post. All right, we're dead. All right, next game. Next game. Force of Vigor, where art thou? Mystical Dispute, Endurance, Fire, Ice, Ascendancy. Honestly, just icing a land does seem really, really good. We just cut the Bonecrushers. And like a Fury. On the play. I guess like the Fury. I guess these are just good in games that they have Chalice the Void. There's like good magic cards. Borrower Plea. Do I want to cut like a few Cascaders? Maybe cut like 2 Ardent Pleas. A couple Fire Ices. And do I want Hiri? I think I do. Just like an alternate way to win. Yeah, I think this is fine. I think the Bonecrusher's not like great or anything, but I just want ways to play fair Magic against them, because honestly, fair Magic will just beat them sometimes. Yeah, with Urge Saga, it's like no longer the case, but oh boy, this hand's bad. I mean, we can pitch Yorion to Solitude, which is kind of cool. It's pretty bad. We should have all of our colors. That was a keep, I think. We have like Borrower to buy a little time, and then all of our colors. Something to be said for having all of our colors, you know? And again, just casting Solitude or Fury is also pretty reasonable too, so we'll see what happens. Put a mulligan 6. Some pressure on them to mulligan to like Chalice, something like that, so... Mulligan 5. All right, so Triome, get you. Temple, Temple, Temple. Always draw Temple. Mulligan. I cracked the fetch. Yeah, I guess this Triome, whatever. Give Stomping Ground, so sure. Probably getting the other ones. I don't really see us playing Brazen Borrower. Draw a land, that's not too good, but... They have turn 2 Thought Knot here. It's pretty gross. If they have if it's turn 3 Thought Knot, then we have like we can pitch Solitude, or get Yorion, pitch Solitude, and kind of like battle it back that way a little bit. Map on 2. Chalice on 0. Sure. All right, so selling in for a longer game here. Perfect mana achieved. No point about bouncing Chalice. Obviously, nothing to do with it yet. Just put Yorion around. So go. They fire up a Thought Knot. We will Solitude it. Our hands aren't that good anyway, so... Five. 5-drop tribal. Double Urza's Mine. Alright, so play Thought Knots here. So, do we do Solitude here? We pitch Solitude, we exile it, we draw a card, then they Thought Knot sear us. We're getting seared anyway. It sucks, I would love to just hardcast Solitude, honestly, but they're not going to let us do that, so... Yeah, I think this is fine. So that goes away. That goes away. We draw a card. It's another land. All right. Sure. And yeah, our hand's getting a little thin here. I'm not gonna lie. They're gonna take the petty theft in fear of me drawing a Cascade card. Felty's bug is in full effect. Okay. Let's land go. I mean, now we're at the point where we're just like hard casting Fury, which is like pretty fine against them. They have 2 cards left. And we just have petty theft to be drawn on our Cascade cards for Chalice. Teferi is obviously very good at that too. Everybody draws Teferi at all. Crack the map. Get themselves a temple, probably. Alright, Saga's pretty good. Obviously can bounce a token if we need to. Or just Fury the tokens too, so untap. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. White, red, blue. Oops. God, I auto tap her. Please, God help me. Blue. Omnath. Draw. Yeah, dismember here. Sure, this is fine, honestly. This is a good exchange for us. So, member, 4 life, 2 for 1. Draw an outburst. Great. Let me just play, oops. Land they know about and just say go. And now we have Borrower into Outburst, or Borrower into into Rhinos. We have Fury to hardcast. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Triple Ursus Mine. The trip. Opponent's playing poker. Don't want to play poker when you're playing Tron. And what we got? Breeding Pool, Hallowed Fountains. Whatever. That one. Our math's perfect. Doesn't matter. Alright, so untap. Draw. An agent. That's actually pretty good too. So I play lands, they go, and we can like end step, bounce, chalice, outburst, untap, agent, and have a bajillion rhinos, which is pretty good. They make a token, they untap, make a token. We bounce a chalice, the tokens shrink a little bit. We can also fire off a fury too. Make a token. It's 2/2. They could have a counter spell for sorceries, the Warping Wheel. It's a ridiculous card. Get a map, sure. So very, very modest. Very, very modest. Just getting the map here. And we could, in theory, like petty theft this, outburst, block with the rhinos, and they recast it and turn it with one of my hands. So we're just gonna wait. Take 4 here, it's no problem. I want to have access to more rhinos on my turn, so. Also, they have Warping Well, it's a disaster for us, so. Post combat, crack the map, get themselves another saga probably. Alright, Saga ahoy. It's an Urza's Saga world, we're just living in it. Let's get whatever land. Petty theft. Violent Outburst. Creepy little dudes on here. There are some creepy little dudes. Make some rhinos on tap. It's tough because, like, both plays here are very tempting. I guess pitch Fury now. I think casting Fury is so good. So I do kind of want to just, like, Fury their board. But they just play Chalice again. And I mean, our agent's bad. So we probably want to attack here. And pitching Fury just feels way too conservative. I can attack for a lot next turn, but I'm going to have 4 Force in play anyway, so. Alright, so green, blue, agent, cascade. Yeah, I'll cast it. I want to cast it. That's what I want to do. Put that into play. I have Borrower available also, so. Fire away, opponent. What do you got for me? Chalice on 0, make a Construct. That's 2 4/4s. But is that good enough? Is the question. Chalice on 0? Sure. Probably should start tapping lands there. I probably would have scooped out of frustration, thinking I had an outburst, but I won't test their mental fortitude. Tell me more. Make Construct. Okay. Ballista on 1. Interesting. Does make the borrower a little worse. I think we're still casting it though. Like. Thing is, the Fury is just going to destroy them next turn, so they make their blocks. Let's attack all. There are 12. This is 21 damage coming across. Kind of face up, I think, but if I had pre-combat, I could have done like 1 and 3, but still like not that good. Just let them make their blocks, eat everything, deal a bunch of damage. I think this is fine. I think this is fine. Maybe I should play pre-combat. I don't know. It's pretty similar either way. Maybe like a few more points of trample damage, but all right. So they're just gonna shoot the. So they're just gonna let our stuff die anyway. Interesting. So maybe I mean I gotta kill it. They kill my borrower anyway. What's this? A dismember? Are you insane? That's actually kind of gross. And 1 card left? I should have like just not played the borrower and pre-combat furied. That might have been better. You go to 8. Like I'm just like casting a fury here. It's kind of naked now. That might have been wrong. They have very little left. And I just have 2 furies, but all right, you're up. I have that's lethal. That is 8 power. I don't really think that they can get much here. I mean, maybe I'm wrong again, but like Shadow Spear, Basilisk Collars, Dash of the Fury. They'll have 3 artifacts. I can deal 4. I have a double striker. Another map. All right, map it up. I don't think if this gets Saga, that's a good chain for them. Or is this Tower? That is Tron. 2 cards left. What's a Thought-Knot Seer? Oh my god, that's gross. All right, I guess. They're mostly out though. They have the block, we draw cards, so could draw a spell too. That'd be cool. Also, wouldn't mind that. Wouldn't mind that. How good Yorion would be here. That's a spell. I guess. Yeah, we just cast that. White, green, red, blue. Omnath, Locus of Creation. Draw a card. Reflecting Pool. Just gain 4 life. All right. So yeah, here comes Fury. Little chump, I imagine. Once again, mostly just scared of All's Dust. Now I got trade. Wow, okay, cool. So we draw cards. Awesome. And now we've got an agent. Obviously, we can't Rhinos, but it's like we just want to play a 2/2 here. I don't think so. Maybe we do. 4/8. It is lethal. I think we do. We have 1 card left. I'm gonna hold it. Just hold it. We have 4 Force of Vigors. We have Brazen Borrowers. Like they play any large creature, like a Reality Smasher here would like really turn the game. Temple number 2. So they have infinite mana. Hopefully all dressed up with nowhere to go. One last card. What's it going to be? Just kidding. Combat. And they started casting something, so that's a little scary. Untap. Draw. Scalding Tarn. I mean, that makes a bunch of mana, but doesn't really do anything. Attack you. All right, they're at 4. If they were at 2, I would cast this. But I think at 4, we're just going to hold on to it. All right, sure. So, cool. We'll take that. 1-1. All right, round 3 on the draw. Yorion, I choose you. And yeah, it's fine. Obviously a little land heavy, but Cascader, Brazen Borrower, really can't ask for too much more. Interesting choice here. We played, actually we have 2 Triomes, so never mind. Yeah, we're gonna keep this. Not great, but Tarn. A little Darcy. Hard Evidence. A Crab and a Clue. Okay. Fire Ice. That's pretty cool too. All right, let's play Triumph. Say go. Some sort of Indomitable Creativity deck. Ooh, 4 colors. Okay. Triumphs, man. Triumphs. So if we Ardent Plea on 3, they can Creativity on 4. I don't really like that. That makes me unhappy. So we might just need to like pump the brakes a little bit. Play Heath, say go. That's pretty good. Obviously can't petty theft one or the other. We can leave up petty theft and just start playing a slower game. That makes us really want to draw Violent Outburst. Get sure Temple Garden. Gonna hold this Triome. They're gonna ice me. You gonna ice me? You think you can ice me? I am the ultimate icer. All right. Bonecrusher Giant. Sure. So Reflecting Pool, go. Problem is if they go for turn 5 creativity on 2 targets, I can't really do anything about it. Dwarven Mine. Love to see it. Are they going to go for it? Really? Targeting the Clue? Get out of here. Get out of here. What do you think you're doing? Get out of my house. I can kill both their things too. That's freaking awesome. All right, cool. Feudal Fury too. That's pretty funny. But yeah, now we just stomp this. That was pretty aggressive in the face of a petty. I guess we are playing 80 cards, but all right. All your stuff's dead. I'm tapped out. Go nuts. They have like fetch land, dwarven mine, other creativity. I guess we're screwed, but that was dumb. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I main phased that, actually. That was kind of stupid. Could have just waited. There's all like Teferi here. Prismari command. Draw 2, discard 2 treasure. Sure. Yeah, I guess that was a bad play. That was a bad play. That's all right, though. That's all right. Discard Archon of Cruelty? What? Okay. We're probably in trouble. Didn't see that one coming. I'm not gonna lie. And I guess we couldn't stop it anyway, but right. Okay. I guess we're going to play a Shardless Agent. I don't know if Rhinos can win this game. We can sack the agent to the Archon, but Archon just kills in 2 swings. And I don't really have an answer to it. We have Solitude to Teferi. I'm really feeling the 80 cards here. I feel like we're just not drawing the right cards at the right time. And it kind of sucks, honestly. Pretty interesting mishmash here. Mishmashing the Persist deck with the Creativity deck. Samari Command, obviously very good in both. Alrighty then. Yeah, we'll go to the next game. That was pretty dirty. Pretty dirty. Okay. I guess we want. I don't want Fury, that's for sure. I don't want Fury. I don't really want Bonecrusher Giant. I guess you want Endurance, and I guess you want Disputes. I don't really want Force of Vigor. I'm going to shave one more card here. It's probably Temur Ascendancy. It seems pretty bad. It looks really cool, but probably just shave both of them. It seems good in like grindier games. He's in the not being grindy games at all. You leave a Bonecrusher in. Supposing to hear you like might play. I'll leave Bonecrusher. Bonecrusher can stomp a 1/1, so alright. On the play. We got punked out that game. I feel like I did not see that one coming at all. Alright, Dispute. It's a 2-lander, but we have Ice and we have Force of Negation we're gonna keep. Alright, play that. So go. Draw. Grove. That's cool. Grove. We're gonna upkeep Ice. I am the ultimate icer. Footfalls. That's not that bad. I think it's gonna slow down, but sure. So untap. Reflecting Pool does cast a Shardless Agent, right? Yes, it does. Hey, buddy. Ten power. Go. And we get to untap here. I feel really good about things. Mending, sure. So many colors. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Triomes. I just feel like I was like not a big fan of like a lot of things that are happening. It's like new modern format, like the Triomes, all the elementals. I don't know if I'm just like, you know, conditioned to like things that are like the way it was or whatever, or like I don't know, just a drastic change in the format. But we're in great shape here. Obviously, we have Dispute and Force Negation up. No point in playing Omnath here. Just play Landsego. We could suspend Footfalls, but it probably won't affect the game. I don't want to have Dispute and Force Negation up. I would just cast Force Negation. I don't need to pitch it. So Hard Evidence number 2. That one looks pretty good for us. Psychic Clue. Yeah, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. I know good signs, and that's a good sign. Get a blue land of some kind. I should have got a blue-white land. Whatever, this thing doesn't matter. Ardent Plea. Tax keys. They're at 11. Fetch Dwarven Mine, sure. Making some blocks. They're making some blocks, you know? Trample all day. And just say go. Yeah, just have Force and Dispute up. All right, here it is. The big turn. For all the marbles. Dwarven Mine number 3. Card is super cool. Super cool card. And I mean, I guess we just force. I think they're dead, right? 5 toughness, block. Yeah, they're pretty dead. Cool. Much better that game. A little bit of interaction. Works out well. We're on the draw now, though. We're on the draw. Submit. But yeah, I am feeling the 80 cards a bit. It does feel like we're sort of just like, all right, well, I hope we draw this subset of cards. And there is obviously an element of redundancy, but the redundancy is more built into our cascade engine rather than our interactive engine. So we had to just hope we draw Fury against the small creatures and Force of Negation against the spells and so on and so forth. Bottom all against a 6. I mean, I don't like this hand, but I don't know if we can mulligan it. I guess we're stuck on colors. We can only get Jeskai or Temur, so we're stuck on one of the. I'll mulligan then. Sure. Okay. Keep this. Just gonna ship Stomping Ground so I get Triome. So, bottom mulligan 6. We're also on 6. I had a mole sliced off my back today. It's irritating me. I apologize. I am so fidgety. Triome. Jessica. Foothills. Sure. Nothing really doing right yet, you know, just kind of chilling. End step, Dubs Triome. See, they get to play 3 Triomes because they're the proper colors. Blood Crypt, okay. That sucks. There's a lot of haters out in Force today. I must say, they're really, really hating on us. Well, if you won the die roll, it would have been cool, but I guess we didn't. So, I guess not. You know, we just played first again. I won the die roll, obviously. Yeah, I guess. Okay. Well, that makes all of our Cascade cards pretty bad. Yeah. Okay. We got some work to do, folks. We got some work to do. Suppose that a popular streamer's been playing a deck for like 4 days straight. You should expect to run into some hate for it because everyone's gonna be trying out the new deck, you know? It's fair. It's fair. All's fair, I suppose. We have 4 cards in hand. Okay. So we have literally just the worst Trumpet Blast of all time in our hand. I guess we, so far they traded 1 for 1, Ego for Trumpet Blast, but Teferi Time Raveler. Okay. I guess we cast one of our flash creatures here and be really unhappy about it. Doesn't really matter which. All right. Sacred Foundry. They have Fire Ice in our deck, so I want to try and kill Teferi. I guess we don't need to kill Teferi anymore because frankly, we're not cascading, but the gross part is, of course, they can instant speed reanimation combo now, but Teferi number 2. Sure, honestly, and no land. Okay. And we're not going to bounce anything. And it's not going to die, so we're just going to play a tap land here. Guess we'll fetch something. It's obviously very scary, though, because they have 6 spells in their hand. And any combination of cards could be pretty nasty for us here. No land, though. Wow. That feels incredibly fortunate for us. Ooh. I should have held the fetch land. That's my bad. I should have held the fetch land. I just didn't think about it. Prismari command, draw 2, discard 2, make a treasure. Discarding Mending and Creativity. Obviously, they're full of gas, so. All right. No, I have to actually like figure out what colors I'm tapping for. Green, white, red, blue, Omnath. Draw. That's not bad either. Reflecting Pool's fine. Gain some life, so you go. So you have Petty Theft and Fire Ice up. Fetch land equals 1/1 token. So that aspect of their combo is available to them. For a limited time. No, just Steam Vents, okay. Teferi again. This is fine. Can't bounce both creatures. So, like, sure. And then recasting Endurance to get their graveyard's fine. Recasting Omnath to draw a card is fine. Bounce Omnath. Yep. F6, can't do anything anyway. 1 blue for hard evidence. Okay. So untap and draw. Solitude. Do I wish to Solitude a crab? Honestly, I might be interested in just like thefting or icing the crab. I think we're going to Brazen Borrower it. I guess the problem is they have two treasures in play now. They can just creativity both of them. But I can't really do anything about it. I guess I could Solitude the crab token. That loses Omnath though, which is really bad. I have a Yorion in my hand actually. That plays. Okay, so Yorion to hand, and I'll ice and Petty Theft up. Raw power. Itching to kill a crab. It's a big game. It's a big game. Attack Teferi. I'm gonna ice them too. Because fire's not gonna interact, I don't think. So what do I have green for? Actually. That one. Outburst. Hopefully we'll cast Outburst for lethal this game. Just like the old +1/+Os. Alright. That was pretty bad. That was a pretty good draw. So now they can cast Creativity for 2 still. That sucks. That really sucks. That sucks because if we had left at the fire, we could have fired the token. Obviously didn't know they were drawing a land and not that exact land either, unfortunately. And we kind of burned our Solitude too. This could get a little dicey. Obviously have cards to discard. Yeah, it's Creativity for 2. It sucks. Oh, it's for 1. They could have sacked the treasure done for 2. Alright, sure. They have a dispute maybe? Yep. Okay. Oh, Flusterstorm, sure. That's even better. Alright, so they get an Archon. We discard one of our crappy outbursts. We lose our endurance. We're sad about Solitude. I mean, maybe I was too aggro to kill the thing. I wanted to kill Teferi too, because we like needed to interact, obviously. Could have iced it, maybe. Hallowed Fountain. I think we're just like super dead now. Green, white, blue. Red, blue. Omnath, draw, Scalding Tarn. The problem is like it just doesn't actually do anything. We cast Shardless Agent, but I don't think it matters. This is going to be a bad turn for us. I'm feeling a pretty bad turn for us. I might play this game badly. Maybe we just like we're a little too aggressive. Obviously, like they ripped the perfect land, but like I think that might have been too aggressive. Omnath feels like it's obviously a good card, but we're not like using the mana for anything in this deck. I don't know. It seems fine. Similar creativity. But they obviously have all spells, so they were stuck on lands all game. So yeah, obviously they have all spells. All right, sure. All right, tough one, tough match. I might have played that game badly. I'm not sure. I mean, they had all spells and they just like drew land, so I'm not really sure. But 1-2, 1-2. All right, Squirrel Party, let's go. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure yet. Lurrus, sure. Ugh. Definitely don't like mulliganing against these decks. This hand's pretty bad. I'm just trying to draw land. Obviously, we're on the draw with an ice and a Force of Negation and a Solitude. So I'm just gonna keep. It's a little loose, but all right. So it looks like they're burn. No, Esper Sentinel. That is a card you can play in your deck. All right, there's Hammer Time, sure. I mean, be a nice fire, right? We can draw land. We can. We can draw land. Deuce. Sure. Double Canopy. Sigarda's Aid. We're going to force this. Pitch an Omnath. Pay the 1, I guess. Oh, shitting. I guess we're going to Triome. That sucks. Obviously, I wanted to pay the 1. This definitely works. Shocking. Would have gotten a Sacred Foundry? Yeah, that kind of sucks. All right. And a Giver of Runes. Sure. Get the Jeskai Triome. I should just call it Jeskai Triome, you know? 3 cards left, 2 cards left. Teferi. Sure. So I'll give him another card, I guess. And I'll just say go. Nexus, Lurrus to hand. Okay. Alright, not that bad. Obviously, Lurrus next turn. Ooh, that was a pretty good draw. Alright, so get Teferi going. Bounce Giver of Runes. Draw a card. Agent, awesome. 2 pitch spells here is pretty good. It's pretty good. Solitude does seem pretty good against this deck. Basic Plains. Another Sigarda's Aid. Alright, sure. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, you know? Boing. Boing. Goodbye. Untap. Draw. Temur Ascendancy. I mean, I pitches the Fury, honestly. Alright, plus this. Play Agent. Cast a spell. So there you go. And now I've got the old Fury pitch ready to roll. Their hand is Lurrus. Nexus number 2. That is a little scary. I'm not going to lie. And a Snowboard Mystic. That's also terrifying. Well, we're back to being dead. That's always good, I guess. Pretty good hand. Pretty good hand. So we need to draw to a rule spell, Stomp, Fire Ice, Solitude. Fury obviously won't do it. And they're actually just gonna put the hammer on the Ornithopter and try and double us here. Nope, gonna kill Teferi. That's interesting. Perhaps they have a third hammer? Doesn't have flying. Doesn't have trample either. Huh. I think I just block. I think I'd rather have a Teferi on 2 than a 2/2, so. Giver of Runes 2. Oh my, what a sick hand. Double Giver of Runes. Double Hammer Effect, double Nexus, Sigardazade, double Sigardazade. Actually 2 of everything. I guess we did give him a few extra cards on the Sentinel for sure, but Ardent Plea. That's not gonna do it. Alright, well. Pitch this. Deuce ya. The problem is, like, they just have no other option but to go for it here, and they're just gonna kill us. So I guess they actually use their hammer, right? So one card? I don't know. They're just dead. That was a very aggressive play to put the hammer on the Nexus, not in combat, because now like they just can't win anymore. They have one card and it's Lurrus. And they're just dead on board. I'm just gonna. They have no. Yeah, I'm just gonna play this and whatever. Like, try and kill me. You know, like, what are you gonna do? They need to draw a way to. They need to draw a pure steel paladin or another hammer effect. That was really aggressive. What am I gonna do? You got me. What am I gonna do? What I'm gonna do is remind you all to check out my article from CoolStuffInc.com last Friday, where I wrote. I actually was really happy with my article last Friday. I wrote about when it's correct to allow your opponent to trick you in a game of Magic, and kind of an interesting concept. I think that players honestly of all skill levels kind of gloss over. If you want to see an image from that article, there it is. Little get that. Also this one too. Ooh, what poker? What? And I don't know. I was pretty happy with it. I'll just check it out. CoolStuffInc.com. My article from last Friday. I do a video article every Monday and a written article every Friday. So 2 pieces of content a week for Cool Stuff, alongside all their other great free content every weekday. Nothing else to do is sit here and talk about it. Shadow Spear is their draw for turn. Ay. That's 11. Puts them to 15. But they're still dead. They also tap their Nexus. I have 16. Oh, they have Lurrus still. Sure. So the Lurrus lifelink brings them to 18. Ugh. And Mem Knight too, I guess. M. Night Shyamalan. All right. I love it. I think that's enough. I think it's enough. The swings are real, folks. The swings are real. So they're effectively at I miscounted. They're actually at 13. They're effectively at 16 with 2 blocks. This is definitely lethal. Every once in a while, a magic card does what its intended purpose was, which is you pump your creatures +1/+0. You know, and that's the way that Richard Garfield intended it to be. These little guys are so happy right now. Look at their smiles. It looks like they're snarling, but they're smiling. That front guy's smiling. That front guy's smiling for sure. Would you believe it? Would you believe it? I would Cascade. And I believe that's lethal. Yes, it is. Yeah, +2. That was it. We needed that. I could have drawn like Stomp, Fire Ice, any removal spell. Lots of stuff there, but we'll take that. That's a little more exciting that way. All right, so in come the Force of Vigors. And Nahiri the Harbinger? I don't think so. Endurance, Dispute, no. We want our borrowers, we want our forces. Force of Negation. Yeah, we want that. It interacts, it's cheap. Fire Ice, Bonecrusher. I never know what to take out. I'm sorry. I always know what to take out. It's the Ascendancies. No grinding here. It is all gas all the time. Want our Solitudes, want our Furies. I'm going to cut 2 Omnaths. The thing is, Omnath obviously pitches to everything, which is like a pretty cool factor. Borrower, Bonecrusher. I do want everything though. I'm just going to cut the Omnath. We're not like ever tapping out for Omnath. So let's let it ride here. Let it ride. Man, playing creature deck against 4 Fury, 4 Solitude, pretty rough. Pretty rough time to be playing as small creatures right now. I really hate that Fury's a main deckable card. I hate it. Obviously, I'm a Goblins player, but just in general, just leave the goddamn creature decks alone. They want to cast some humans, cast some goblins, cast some zombies. Let them freaking do it. Why you gotta hate so hard? Why you gotta hate so hard? All right, it's obvious mulligan here. I mean, it's funny because like we do actually have Force of Vigor and Solitude and Force of Negation. We can cast every spell in our hand, mostly. But we can't keep his hand, obviously, so we're gonna mulligan. We could just like mix those hands together. They're really cool. Yeah, I mean, Force of Vigor is insane against them, but not that insane. So we're gonna mulligan. Sure. Our pitch cards get a lot worse. So mulligan to 5. Force and just land, I think, and we gotta get lucky here. I don't know what else to tell you, folks. It's a rough life out there. Giver of Runes. And probably going to game 3. I don't have all our colors yet. Like, Giver of Runes number 2. Is this deciding if they're going to attack or not? Get that chip shot damage in. It's a Memnite. Okay. Very thinky Memnite. All right, Jeskai it is. Untap and draw a mountain. All right. Sure. Fortunately, we can't really do anything because there's 2 Giver Runes in play. Sigarda's Aid. I mean, we gotta force it. So Teferi is like so bad here, realistically. Honestly, all of our cards are just terrible here. There's just no way around it. Like, we can't actually target anything. We're just down cards up the wazoo. A bunch of always itch spells. Like, Teferi's probably worse. We're never drawing a card or defending it, so. Drums in the deep. Oh, yeah, let's go, Mem Knight. Bring it on, my friend. Show them what you got. I can tussle, I can take it. Well, that was a kind of good draw. We can't cast it. So, what do you want from me? I got nothing. I got nothing, opponent. Just kill me. Put me out of my misery. Crack Canopy. Untap. The old Drumski. Lurist hand. All right. So their hand's also not that good, I guess. Oh. All right. Sure. One of each basic. One of each basic. Had to be the plains, couldn't be the forest. Thankfully, Lurus doesn't actually have anything to do yet. It's always that, I suppose. Oh boy. Hushbringer? Hushbringer? Okay. That certainly makes Solitude a lot worse, and Yorion, but okay. Ardent Plea. Sign me up, I guess. Make some YoRhinos. We can F6 now because Solitude doesn't even do anything, so. As it stands, we are like ahead now, I suppose. They have a Lurus in their hand and a couple other cards, but nothing they have affects the battlefield except for stopping us from entering battlefield abilities and then protecting their stuff. Oh, never mind. Things got a lot worse. I think we're dead. Freaking Hushbringer. Go on. Go on. I'm not gonna get the pleasure. Not gonna get him the pleasure. Not gonna give him a satisfaction. All right. No mulligans this game. No mulligans, please. Hushbringer. We do have like 3 Bonecrusher, 4 Fire Ice. Plenty of ways to kill it. We have Fury. Unfortunately, the old Mother of Runes duo there got us pretty good. Game 3 on the play. Hopefully 7 cards. On the play. Yorion, I choose you. Yeah, this plays. We can keep this. Any red card for Fury is great. If a Solitude, got a Cascader, you got a Teferi. All works. It all works. Good mana. Opponent mulligan 6. All right, you're up. Opponent's on 6 cards. A Memnite. Memnite Shyamalan. Force plays too, honestly, sure. Play Misty, so you go. So I'd say we haven't drawn Force of Vigor yet, but we're playing 80 cards, so like, you know, they're in there somewhere, I guess, but who knows where. Saga, okay. Speaking of Force of Vigor, geez. Giver of Runes, okay. I would like to draw a red card, please. That is a red card. That is a red card. I think it's just Rhino Fury here. We got Force to back it up too. It's pretty good. Double blue. Whoosh. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Not gonna lie. We have Solitude and Force of Negation up. Fairies holding them together. Ornithopter, you got. Urza Saga, absolutely. That's it. That's all you got. Oh boy. Solitude number 2. That feels pretty good as well. Attack. No blocks. So if they're on like the token plan here, we just wreck them with Solitude and Teferi. We could just put Yorion in our hand, but like we can just leave up Force of Negation also, like the old-fashioned way. Yeah, because I would pitch Solitude to Solitude anyway, and I would just pitch the Yorion to the Force, just fine. Just to go. Make a token. Yep. And now, what can they get here off of their Urza Saga that is damaging to our existence? Token. Like, I guess Shadow Spear maybe? It's not even that good though, so we're gonna like Solitude 1 to Teferi the other, which is in great shape this game. Hello? Why do my opponents never know what to go with Urza Saga? There's so many options. It can even be a boat. Always the best option. Always gotta bang on the drums. Banging on a trash can. Tap for Giver of Runes. Okay. Huh. So now I kind of want to keep my Solitude. I guess they have no way to put the Nexus, the thing on the Nexus, so... Now I kind of wish I put the Yorion in my hand, honestly. I mean, there is an end step because it's free, so let's untap. Let's draw a blue or white card, make our life easy. That's a blue card. All right. I guess it's sort of helpful. And they have Giver of Runes to protect the Nexus. We have Force to protect our... If they have a Metalcraft guy, though, it's... I guess we can still block it, in theory. I'm not even sure, honestly. Bounce this. Oh, there we go. Now we're golden. It's easy game now. Double white card. Blue card. You probably just kill the Giver of Runes now to not have to use 2 Solitudes in the same Nexus. Well, they can actually animate the Nexus and trade the construct for the Rhino. That's fine though. I'm okay with that. And then I might even want to just Solitude the Nexus and win the combat anyway. That's also really good. I think we're in great shape. I think we're in great shape. Oh, I'm sorry. I can only pitch 1. What am I saying? I am delirious. Never mind. I'm sorry. I think I was thinking that I had Yorion in my hand too, but or I sold Teferi. I don't even know. But only Solitude once. So that being said, we're still dead to a Metalcraft dude. What's it called? Pure Steel Paladin. We could Force Negation a Cigar Aid But actually, I'm sorry. We can just Force of Negation the hammer too. I don't know. They're nulling me into a false insecurity. All of our opponents would play pretty slow today. I'm not the fastest player, either, but I feel like we've been ahead like multiple minutes, multiple games. Obviously, when you use one card to make 8 power, you can afford to pitch some other cards, No blocks, they say. Okay. And they go to 4. We. I mean, I guess, like, we're just going to have to target Giver of Runes anyway. We might as well just kill it now. Sure. Saga, Chapter 3. I guess this could find a hammer, and then if they have the Pierce the Paladin, we're dead. Yes. So if they have an X, we're dead here. But what are you gonna do? I imagine if they had it, they would just do it. So I don't unless they're playing 2 games at once. Sorry, folks. I don't know what to say. All right, so make your thingy. Get Shadow Spear. Sure. Equip Shadow Spear. Ugh. Wait, they had the Pierce Power? They could just freaking. Oh, they couldn't. They never have mana to Nexus, I guess. Could have drawn it too, I guess. Alright, that's pretty disgusting. So you're just getting soloed by the card Urza Saga? That doesn't feel very good. Alright, sure. Doesn't feel good at all. I mean, I guess we put this in hand and say go. Can't really attack anymore. You get like obviously exile this, and we just get in for a bunch. They would just back for a bunch. So we just say go. Fire up double blocks if need be, I guess. Okay. I mean, now I like double block, and they activate their Nexus, and I Solitude the other construct. They're going to gain a lot of life this turn, but it'll be a Rhino versus a few of their crappy creatures. Lures to hand. This game was looking so good for us too. Teferi, that's not that bad. Actually, now you can bounce Ardent Plea, which is kind of cool. Draw Scalding Tarn. All right, now we're live for Now we're live for Force of Vigor, so we can cast it with double green. Attacking here for 4. They attack back. It's not very good. Just say go. They can cast Loris, then cast Giver of Runes, which is pretty disgusting. Stoneforge Mystic. That's also really bad. Actually, I'm sorry, no, it's not. We should force it. But if they had like been patient about it, it would have been bad. But they weren't, so cool. Now, however, the next equipment they draw will be castable. That should have been white, maybe like Hardcast Solitude, but sure. All right, so they're at 25. We're gonna have some more Rhinos. Okay. I feel like we're a pretty big dog this game, but a little exalted Rhinos don't hurt, you know? Shields are down. Do your worst, opponent. Do your worst. And the worst is attack for one with Ornithopter. We take those. We take those, all right? Now they played Loris and recast Giver of Runes. Just gonna make our life pretty difficult. All right. Obviously, all this lifeline coming back is pretty tough. This makes it hard to race. Draw. Heath. So I think 2 Rhinos come in here. One needs to stay back to block the Lurus and the Lifelinkers. So get in for an 8-ball. They're just going to throw away the Stoneforge Mystic. Odd, because that Stoneforge got around my Force of Negation, but sure, I guess they don't know that. Let's play land, say go. We could like hold land for Omnath, but we only have 2 Omnath left. Maybe exile one of them anyway, right? Yeah, so we have one Omnath in our entire deck. Another Stoneforge Mystic. I mean, that would have won the game, right? But now I can once again counter their Colossus Hammer. Yeah, it was a pretty sketchy block. I don't know. They're 19. Didn't really feel like a necessary chump block. Will they hold it? They could just hold it, obviously. Clipper 0, sure. They have Giver of Runes too. And they're in the red in the clock. Clock's ticking. Sigarda's Aid. So we know they have a hammer. I'm just gonna let that resolve because they just Stoneforge help with those. Go for it. They're not gonna go for it. All right, so we're dead now. Oh, they're gonna go for it. All right, sure. Our opponent is playing a little bit tighter here, but sure, I'll take it. We'll take it. A little more patience. Like they're having a really big rush for no reason. And they obviously have plenty of time to work things out. All right. They're at 23 life. Not sure what we're drawing here. It's probably not Temple Garden, though. All right. I mean, we're at 9 now. Same block as last turn, sure. Take some damage, gain some life. I guess we'll hold the land to like rep some stuff. But I think we're dead here, folks. I think we're dead. Oh, sure, I can just cast it again. All right, sure, we're dead. All right, yeah, that's kind of stinky. It's kind of stinky. Wait, what? They got hammer, right? Yeah, they got hammer. Okay, sure. All right. 1 and 3. I must say I'm not super impressed with the deck. I'm not super impressed with the deck. It looks really, really, really cool, but the cards just aren't really coming together. The 80 cards I feel like is really, really hampering things. And Yorion hasn't been much of a benefit. You know, like we've pitched it a few times, but like it's not like huge or anything. You know, you still got to pay mana for it. So, not really sure. Not really sure. All right, match 5. Win the die roll. Let's get back on track here. All right, back on track. A little unenthused with the deck, but we're gonna turn it around here. We're turning around. Obosh the Prey Piercer. Oh god, we're gonna get Blood Moon into next century. We're gonna keep. We're gonna keep. And Crashing Footfalls. You got work to do, my friend. The old-fashioned way. Can't afford to fetch a base gear with a pool in my hand, so put them all against the 6. We're gonna get, I think, just Breeding Pool. And we should draw land. Obviously, the pool taps for blue or green, so we can cast Agent on turn 3. We have Borrower on turn 2. Just gotta draw land. Den of the Bugbear, main deck Relic. You got me. You got me. Footfalls to 3. Foothills. All right, easy game. The question is, do I want to leave up Brazen Borrower? Doesn't make sense to do that, really, because they don't have any 2-drops in their deck. And they played a 1-drop that wasn't a creature, so let's play Foothills instead. Go. Again, I don't think it's worth it to try and get a basic, because we just can't cast our spells anyway under Blood Moon, so I don't think a Forest really helps this year. Okay. Sure. So they just like have Blood Moon like 100% next turn. Yeah, I get it. It's gone. Like, is there a world where I just leave up like Brazen Borrower? I don't think so. I think putting 8 power in play is pretty freaking good, honestly. You know, or 10 power. But I have Footfalls in 2 turns also. Yeah, just do it. Whatever. Here you go. You wanted me? Here I am. Here I am. You got it, pal. Two more where that came from also. Crack the bomb. Draw a card. Play Blood Moon. Die to YoRhinos. Okay. We're going to sideboard some cards here. And we're going to bring in... They're playing Pyrite Spellbomb and Relic. They're probably playing Urza Saga. These are playing Blood Moon though? Like, I don't... Is it like an Obosh Urza Saga deck? I don't even know. I'm going to bring in Force of Vigor though. And... we're going to cut... I mean, Force of Negation stops Blood Moon, obviously. I'm going to cut these Ascendancies. I'm sorry, everyone. They're just not very good. They look cool, though. They do look cool. We cut, like... honestly, like 2 Solitudes, maybe. Force of Vigor. I guess Teferi's not great, right? Let's get rid of Teferi. Nahiri is actually pretty interesting. Because it can remove Blood Moon, and all needs a basic planes for it. I just got the Teferi too. It's very in the draw. Seems not good. Try this. Try this. I guess they're gonna have chalices and stuff too, or whatever, or some sort of artifact hate for my stuff, so that the forces are good there too. Is this a basic land hand here? We can fetch all the basics. I'm gonna keep Forest Plains. Spikefield Cave, sure. Obosh has been removed from their deck. Important to note. I am going to play around Blood Moon. We have the opportunity to do so, therefore I am. We have Shardless and Nahiri also. Ragavan on 2. Sure. Treasure and a Brazen Borrower. Not this time. Not this time. Well, we can do it the old-fashioned way. You know, we can do it the old-fashioned way. I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed. Bring it. Bring it. Get all my cards anyway. See? Told you. Chalice on 0. Okay. It's pretty annoying, but sure. Guess I didn't need to fetch there, but whatever. Just get our freaking lands. Play on this Blood Moon. We're just gonna cast the agent because we want to be able to block Ragavan, so Force of Negation. I'm playing here next turn, so sure, whatever. Here we go. Block Ragavan. Six cards in hand. So we have like 3 Brazen Borrowers. I guess we have only 2 Brazen Borrowers left. We have 4 Force of Vigors. But again, there's the 80 cards. We just feel like we should never draw the cards we need. I think it's Yorion too, I guess. It does feel like this deck is extremely well prepared for. Like every opponent has multiple things against us. Chalice the Void, Engineered Explosives, etc., etc., etc. It's very... Seasoned Pyromancer. You got it. Discarding. Fury. Is Fury even good against us? Cast Ragavan. There you go. Alright, well, unfortunately Nahiri can't exile untapped artifacts, so it's kind of a bummer, but should complete our basic land Tron here. Red, double red, double white. Yeah, sure. And play Nahiri. And just like ship a card and just try and improve our hand. Not a bad card. Not a bad card. Guess we can't cast Force of Vigor because I fetched the mountain. Shocking's tough too, though. They're a bolt. We could force here to keep our Nahiri alive, but I don't know if that's worth it. I don't think it is. Ragavan won't trigger with Nahiri anyway, so... Nahiri lives. Nahiri lives. Hit my Violent Outburst, sure. Nahiri does not live. Nahiri dead. I'll cast the Outburst. Do it. Pillage. It's like a cube draft deck. Okay, sure. Okay. Your turn. Take 3. It's pretty good. All right. So Pyromancer, draw 2. Whatever this card is going to be, is it got to be pretty good. Not pretty good. Not pretty good. All right. Game 3. Game 3. Chalice the Void wins the day. I mean, we have Force of Vigors and stuff, but I guess Teferi is about better in the play and also answers Chalice. And we just want these back in. I mean, here he's just bad. This is pretty bad, that game, actually. And then... honestly, wasn't thrilled with Force of Negation. It does stop Chalice. It doesn't, like, do... Ace does have Blood Moon also, assuming they're playing Blood Moon, but it doesn't do anything else. Let's shave, like, a Force and an Ardent Plea. And just, like... hedge a bit against Chalice. Have the fairies now too. Right, on the play. Yeah, this is fine actually because Borrower can answer Chalice, so we are gonna get a forest. Partially for Blood Moon, partially for like to not take damage, but Bone Mulligan 6. All right, my friend, it's all you. What do you got for me? Bugbear, Ragavan. All right, well that's gotta die. So draw. Perfect. Nope, not perfect. Can't get an island and have a red for... oh, I'm sorry, but there's no Blood Moon yet. Yeah. So we'll get... I guess we're getting Stomping or Sacred Foundry. Yeah, I can't afford to get planes here, so... Sacred Foundry. I should wait till combat, actually. I'm sorry. I should say go, so they can't dash one next turn. Alright, so we've dodged the monkey and the turn 2 Blood Moon. Next turn, we can fetch an island. And we have Petty Theft. And then we just, like, play Bonecrusher, though. So they have Blood Moon or Chalice. We have the answer. We have the answer in the Borrower, and like a 4/3 is pretty good here, honestly. Do your worst, opponent. Do your worst. Sure, it's fine. Take 2. See if I care. See if I care. Oh no. The tap land. You hate to see it. Just kidding. You love to see it. Fire Ice. Are we icing here? Kind of want to ice. Put him on ice. Clearly we don't have a third land. So, oh man, you're killing me here. What's going on? Blast Zone. And just to go? We just get to do the Rhino thing, like straight up. Cool. I imagine that Rhinos are good enough. I mean, I didn't draw any spells, so. Alright. Just win with our standard deck here. Charge it up. You got it, my friend. You charge that Blast Zone up. Fury. Okay. Kill a Rhino. Good. We've had those Rhinos. How about these Rhinos? What about second Rhino? 11sies? Potatoes. Yeah. You are up. How do you like them apples? There's another Fury here. Be annoying because they can block pretty well, but okay. I think Yorion's going coast to coast this game. That's my call. That's my call. I'm sticking to it. Okay. That's not bad, honestly. Obviously, borrowing a Furies. We're gonna block like this. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, go for double block, right? I'd be surprised if I didn't double block here. All right, sure, that's fine too, or whatever. Let's play Outburst. More Rhinos, some extra trample damage, plus 3 damage. This deck doesn't look very good. I know the new red cards are good, but okay. Just Fury Tribal. They're at 7. All right, I'm going for it. Obviously, they have a Bolt here. It gets really, really awkward because they like recast their Fury, but I don't freaking care. I'm just going for it. I have the Yorion also, so let's go. Teferi. Let's play Yorion and have the Borrower up. I think we're good. I think we're good. Yeah, we get it. 4th Fury of the game. Got it. Rhinoside over here. 2 and 2. Okay. The problem is they're just dead to trample anyway. So, like, they're currently just dead to the Rhino regardless. One will trample over, but sure. I'll keep playing. I'll keep playing. I ain't scared. I'll keep playing. So, overall, 2 and 3. Not a great result. I do think that the Yorion in this deck just feels a little suspect. 80 cards. The issue is that the Cascade part of the deck feels very consistent, even at 80 cards, because they're just like you just have add 4 more Cascaders, and you just draw less Footfalls. The problem is the interactive part of the deck just is much less consistent. where it's sort of like I just draw Force of Negation when I need Solitude, or I just draw Fury when I need Force of Negation, or whatever it is, And then Omnath is like a good Magic card, don't get me wrong, but we're not really utilizing the mana it creates. The life gain is fine. It's mostly there as like a card we can pitch to all of our pitch cards, but that's not really like, that's not like a reason to play a card anyway. So like, I do like the idea of playing Teferi in this deck because it does seem very, very good. And Solitude probably requires to play Omnath, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is just better than the regular, like, usual Temur Crashing Footfalls deck, but I'm not sure. Definitely a cool build. Definitely a cool idea for sure. And I don't know. We'll see. I'll see more of it. Obviously, Doomwake will work on it more probably. I'll play on more of it too. Let me know what you think. What are your thoughts on the deck in the comments, all right? Thanks for watching, folks. I'm Jim Davis. I'll see you next time right here for CoolStuffInc.com. Promo code Jim5, 5% off your order, CoolStuffInc.com, and get a free Goblin token. Look at these things. They're awesome. Free Goblin token. Check it out. All right, CoolStuffInc.com. Promo code Jim5, 5% off your order, CoolStuffInc.com. I'll see you next week.